Hey everybody, Off the Mic Sports Network here. Another edition of Off the Top Rope. Listen, I have been hard as anybody on AEW for the last handful of months, and I was very critical of this milestone that they were celebrating, and thinking that this was going to be a very self-indulgent and very tone deaf episode of AEW Dynamite. I got to tell you, as critical as I have been, this was about as close in the last several months, maybe the last year, that we've been close to restoring the feeling from start to finish. Even if there were some weird finishes in between a lot of this stuff, this was the best Dynamite of 2025. This was one of the best Dynamites, I'd say, in the last 6 to 9 months. This was really, really good television. And it was capped off by the Death Riders being conquered. And yes, I understand Pac wasn't there, but John Moxley basically got choked out in, like, yeah, it was an overbooked mess of a match, but John Moxley got choked out by Samoa Joe and the Ops and Powerhouse Hobbs. Minor quibble, and I kind of was critical of this in the open. Like, Hook was taken off for the second time in like a month. We've had a attack by the Death Riders off camera that we didn't see. So that's got to clean that stuff up a little bit. But what have we been clamoring for? The Death Riders to be conquered. So we now have a tangible thing. The locker room comes out and celebrates. It's a big moment. The crowd's going crazy. This was basically what you want to see from AEW. And my question is, where the fuck has this been? Where the hell has this been? Like, you guys have been capable of doing this for years. Where the heck has this been? Like, it's amazing to me that AEW is perfectly capable with talented people to do this on a week-to-week basis. They did it for like the first 3 years of this company. And yet, since Cody Rhodes and CM Punk left, it's almost like they forgot how to storytell and forgot how to create compelling television. Yeah, they've had some good matches, but they haven't meant anything. A lot of stuff throughout this night meant something. You had a legitimate dream match to start the show. You had a surprise debut in the second match. You had an overact in the Hurt Syndicate with a very entertaining segment with MJF, even if I'm a little bit critical of the way they're utilizing MJF. You had maybe the match of the year in AEW, and it happened on free television in Konosuke Takeshita and Will Ospreay, and they might have topped their Revolution match from last year. And if you've seen that match was fucking incredible. So to do that, and then you get this great finish at the end. I was questioning why they main event with the Death Riders, but they do the title change. I'm very happy to see it. John Moxley does good business and actually takes the fall, even if it was, he basically passed out almost immediately. Who cares? It was entertaining, and I give him credit, man. I give credit where credit is due. I have been very hard on this company for a long time. They still have a long way to go. I'd expect the rating to be really good. And then the best part of this whole thing is they barely even leaned into the fact that this was the 289th episode. That's great. That's all I wanted from this show. I wanted them to focus on the wrestling. I wanted them to focus on the storytelling. I wanted them to focus on creating moments for the fans. And they did a lot of that tonight. And that's exactly what you want to see from this company. And everybody expects me to come on here and railroad AEW and just, lay into them for, a lot of stupid things. And they do a lot of stupid things, both in and out of the ring. But this was a night where, the feeling was restored very briefly. And it also begs the question, it's like, what the hell happened at Dynasty? This was a pay-per-view level feel, a pay-per-view premium live event level feel. And it happens on a free episode of television. But it also is reminiscent of what Tony Khan was doing years ago when this company was white hot right out of the gate. So stick to the formula and do what you know what to do. And you knew better than this. And hopefully they do not coast on their morals and they revert back to what they've been doing for the last several months and most of 2025. So yeah, I all in all, I was very, 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 very impressed with this show. Just from just from a pure moment standpoint, and like the match quality on this show was freaking outstanding. Yeah, even with some of the weird finish to the first two matches, Mercedes just winning on a roll up and seemingly tossing Athena aside, and we're heading towards, let's get real, we're heading towards Mercedes and Tony Storm at All In. That's what's happening. And I'll have to discuss that at another point because I want to make this video very positive about how impressed I was with the show. Hangman beat and good to see Josh Alexander. The further I get away from it, I'm more okay with Josh Alexander sitting with the Don Callis family as long as he doesn't become a lapdog. Make that guy feel important. Make him feel as important as Takeshita and as, Kyle Fletcher. Please do that because I'll leave it open for the possibility that they can do something with him. I think it's a good start for him to be in a stable because Josh Alexander isn't really known as a talker. So I think that makes a little bit of sense. He's got the Canadian tie, and we'll see more into the relationship. And obviously, with Mark Davis being hurt, it kind of makes some sense for him to slide into that spot that's open in the Don Callis family. And also Brian Cage and Lance Archer hasn't really been seen there either. So yeah, and that was a good match. Hangman wins. Hangman moves on. Hurt Syndicate and then Gates of Agony was fine, but like I said, it was really about the post match, and MJF was really entertaining, and it was a really good thing that they did. And the Hurt Syndicate's just over. It's great. Like I said, Takeshita Ospreay, probably the best television match I've seen this year. It's one of the best television matches in AEW's history. It's one of the best Dynamite matches I've ever seen, and it's fitting that it's on a milestone. And then, like I said, you cap it off with a great moment with a lot of interference, a lot of crazy shit going on, but Samoa Joe chokes out the world champion, and we have got new, trios champions, and hey, celebration. This is what it should feel like. So where the fuck has it been? Keep it going. I don't have a lot of optimism that they can maintain this momentum. Again, like I said, it begs the question, where the heck has this been? But hey, for 1 week, the week of WrestleMania, AEW did put on a show worth the milestone or whatever bullshit milestone this was, and they worried about what mattered and look at the product. That's what you need to do. Don't worry about all this petty bullshit. Don't worry about all this nonsense. Figure your way out through this and not do, stupid nonsense that has been hurting your company for a long time. So anyway, thanks so much for watching. I will have a lot of WrestleMania coverage coming up really soon. I will see you guys on the other side. Bye-bye.